So welcome back to my channel, The Art of Healing with Anessa. I am Anessa, a detoxification coach that uses natural methods like foods and herbs to help individuals reclaim their health naturally. If you've come here and you wonder if there's a way to actually cure your skin condition, I'm here to tell you that yes, there is a solution. If you've been to doctors, if you've been on medication for any condition such as eczema, psoriasis, acne, rashes, all kinds of different issues, chances are that a lot of these treatments are only cosmetic, meaning they can only treat the condition and then unfortunately the condition can come back stronger. So they are not a solution. They are basically a cosmetic cover-up to a main issue, which is, and this is the main and very important thing to keep in mind when it comes to skin conditions, because skin conditions are not conditions of the skin. They are internal conditions, inflammatory internal condition of the body, expressed through the skin. And this inflammation can be caused by a variety of factors, and I'll get into that as we go along. So I hope you find this video beneficial, and if you do, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. So there are many reasons why these inflammatory conditions can be expressed through the skin. So there's always an underlying reason, and we're going to get into that. But let's talk about inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is basically the body's response to acidosis. Acidosis is a lymphatic system condition. So when the lymphatic system, or the body's waste and immune system, becomes boggled down and stagnant because of our lifestyle, because of acidic foods, acidic emotions, acidic thoughts, this can cause our cells, our organs, our glands to degenerate. And acids are an inflammatory agent. So imagine what an acid can do to a cell. And if the waste in your body is full of acids and it's not getting out properly, where is it going to stay? It's going to stay in that space between cells and slowly start degenerating them. If you are suffering from a skin condition, just understand that it isn't necessarily your skin that is defective. Your skin may be on the weaker side in terms of its performance. So you may be born with a weaker skin membrane. And that is usually a precondition for a lot of these skin issues. But a weaker skin membrane is actually not going to be the causation of skin issues. It is only the precondition that, when turned on by a specific catalyst, such as inflammation, such as stress, when this catalyst is turned on by a lot of different factors that cause inflammation, that is when all of these weaknesses coincide and they create that issue. And that is usually how disease develops. It is not one thing that goes wrong. It is not a weakness that then develops into a disease. It is a lot of different body systems that are weakened, and then you have an environmental stressor that comes along, you have a lifestyle stressor that comes along, and then all of those things simultaneously cause a symptom, cause a chronic disease. Another link to the skin is the liver. So the function of the liver can be correlated with the function of the skin, because the liver is an alchemical organ that takes hormones and heavy metals and toxins and transmutes them into compounds that are more easily handled. And the skin is an elimination organ. So the body uses the skin as one of its elimination pathways to get the waste out of the body. So what other weaknesses in the body could be at play for the development of skin disease? Well, another factor is the thyroid. The thyroid is a gland that regulates our body's temperature and metabolism, among many other functions. So if our internal temperature is off, then that impacts the way the skin performs. If the temperature is too low or hypo, meaning you have hypothyroidism, that means the skin cannot sweat as well as it should. And sweating is one way the skin releases all the waste and toxins from the body. But what if your thyroid does function well? You've done all the tests and everything looks good, but you still suspect that it could be your endocrine system at play. Well, that could be true because it is the pituitary, or the little pea-sized gland in our heads, that is the master gland of all the other endocrine glands. And if that master gland is weak, then all the other glands could underperform, meaning their physical integrity could be strong, but the signals they're getting from the pituitary are dysregulated. And finally, the last and most important factor that contributes to skin disease is how the kidneys and the lymphatic system function. So the kidneys are the body's major waste filters, meaning they're the primary elimination organs of the lymphatic system, which is the waste system of the body. The lymphatic system circulates all over our bodies. It is covering every area of our body, just like the blood. It is 4 times as big as the blood network. So the blood nourishes the cells, whereas the lymphatic system takes care of those cells' waste and then circulates them all the way to the kidneys to be purged. So the kidneys have to function very, very well, be very strong to be able to filter all that waste, all those toxins, all those acids from foods, from activity, from lifestyle, from the environment. So the cells are constantly creating waste just by us living. But then we take in a lot of chemistry, meaning foods, emotions, stimulation, environmental chemicals and toxins. And all of those factors now become part of the lymphatic system that has to be purged. So if our kidneys are constantly being bombarded by acidic waste, then their filtration capacity becomes compromised. Because the lymphatic system is not circulating, it's not being purged by the kidneys, it gets circulated back into the body and stagnates. And when this happens, this is the recipe for chronic inflammation. When chronic inflammation sets in, then we start to see the weakening of glands and tissues and organs. So it's a catch-22. Let's say the kidneys are burdened by all of the acids that they have to filter. Those acids are circulated back. They cause more chronic inflammation because kidneys, like all the other organs, are being degenerated slowly by all that acid, all that waste that's stagnant and can't come out. So what happens when the kidneys are not able to filter the way they're supposed to? Well, they look to the skin to help them out because the skin is the body's third kidney. It also deals with waste disposal in terms of sweating, in terms of using the pores to take those water-soluble acids out. So through sweating, we can do this. The skin is a permeable organ. It is the largest organ in our body. But it is also an elimination organ, meaning the body uses it as a way to detoxify. So it works alongside the kidneys specifically to take out water-soluble waste from the body. So all this waste that can be purged through the kidneys the way it should be is sent to the skin, because the skin is also a waste remover system. It is an elimination organ, just like the lungs, the gut. So it's a communication channel between the outside world and our inside world. That is why it is important to make sure that anything you put on your skin is non-toxic and natural. The body will absorb it through the pores into the blood system and into the lymphatic system, and you're going to further acidify your body with these chemicals. So if you have skin conditions, any creams you're putting on your skin, meaning medical creams, eczema creams, all of those prescription drug creams are highly toxic. So if you take these creams, if you take this medication, the only thing it can do is to suppress the symptoms for a little bit of time. And then you're going to see the blowback of a greater, a more chronic skin condition, because you're not treating the cause of the skin issue properly. You're not looking at the causation. So what happens is you're introducing even more toxicity inside the body, and the skin is now trying even harder to get rid of this toxic waste. So let's go through the conditions. So if you experience acne, all the pus that you find in the pimples is the lymphatic system waste. Same goes with eczema. The pus you see oozing through the skin is actually the lymphatic waste. And the same goes with psoriasis and other conditions. So you may say, Anessa, but a lot of people have inflammation. Their kidneys are probably not working that well. And that is really true. A lot of us in the modern society have very weak kidneys. We have very weak eliminatory systems. And a lot of us suffer with chronic inflammation symptoms that are milder, that are not as debilitating as diseases, but that do set us back in the quality of everyday experience, how we show up in the world, how much energy we have, how we can use our bodies. All of that is a sign that something is dysregulated. So if that is the case, why doesn't everyone have a skin disease? Well, that's where the skin membrane weakness comes in. So if you have a weaker skin membrane, on top of the conditions we discussed, such as weaker liver function, endocrine function, and even nervous system function. So the nervous system can affect our skin function because the nervous system is the regulator of all the organs and glands in our bodies. So if you have any nervous system dysregulation, that could also be why the skin is suffering. So to recap what is really behind chronic skin disease and conditions. Number one, skin conditions are usually caused by an internal inflammation condition, meaning the cause is internal and it's expressed in the skin. But we have to have more ingredients than just the inflammation for the skin disease to occur, and that is a weaker skin membrane. And this condition could be caused by our genetics, our lifestyle, or both. The third factor is usually the weakness of the liver, or the endocrine system, or the nervous system, or some other area of the body that interacts with the skin and helps to remove waste from the system. So these ingredients have to be present in a certain degree for skin conditions to occur. But from my personal experience with eczema and working with others with skin conditions, it is usually a stressful time period in one's life, or something that occurs that brings a lot more inflammation inside the body that kind of triggers all of these factors, ingredients, to then express themselves into a specific skin condition. So you have to have the ingredients, but it is a spark, a catalyst of stress, of a period of grief, of outside influence, of maybe acidic diet that's caused by maybe a job that you don't like, anything traumatic or stressful, or any coping mechanism that we undertake that's very inflammatory could be that spark that causes those ingredients to ignite and then produce that specific chronic condition. So even if you have the ingredients in place, but you don't have that specific catalyst to ignite them, you may not experience a lot of skin conditions. So what is the solution? The solution is not external. It cannot be found in creams. It cannot be found in medication. It can only be found in natural healing of the body, meaning we have to bring the body into the state of balance, into state of regulation. First, we have to remove inflammation from the body. Then we have to energize the cells so they can strengthen the organs, especially the elimination organs that deal with waste disposal. And finally, we have to work on our emotional and mental bodies, because they also produce either positive alkaline chemistry in our body or negative or acidic chemistry. So just like the food that we eat, the chemistry that we internalize is either acidic or alkaline, so are our thoughts, so are our emotions. So we have to work on regulating our mental and emotional states, because they are also key to balanced health. So how do you get started on the journey to healing your skin? Well, I have just a solution. As a detox specialist, I worked with many people with chronic inflammatory conditions over the years, especially people with skin conditions. Suffering from chronic eczema has been my personal journey for many years, and I sought the same solution. And I understood that the medical industry is obviously not looking at the cause, that there is a holistic reason why the body has become dysregulated. So I sought answers and looked to natural healing modalities. I explored, I tweaked, I practiced. I started learning about detoxification. I started learning about naturopathy and different ways of healing the body holistically. And that led me on a journey to become a natural healer, a detoxification specialist, and understanding what it really takes to get the body healthy. So I packaged all my personal knowledge of holistic healing and my knowledge of thousands of hours of practicing and learning about detoxification. And I put all this knowledge into a bundle. You can find this bundle in the description below, and I hope it is highly helpful on your healing journey. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more natural wellness content. Thanks again for watching and take care.